Good afternoon, family. What's up? It's your brother Ernest coming to you again with another ICM Manna Nation Ministries spiritual vitamin. Today's spiritual vitamin will be coming from Zephaniah, the 3rd chapter, verse 17. The Lord thy God in the midst of thee is mighty. He will save. He will rejoice over thee with joy. He will rest in his love. He will joy over thee with singing. May God add a blessing to the reading of his word. Today's divine download is, I want to do something that makes God sing. I want to do something that makes God sing. In this text in Zephaniah, one of our minor prophets, Zephaniah, is speaking about the people in Jerusalem. We're looking at a familiar cycle where people have put themselves in a position where God is upset with them, where judgment is coming their way, and he's explaining to them what's about to happen. But then by the time he gets to chapter 3, he starts talking to the remnant that held on, the remnant that was faithful throughout the whole thing. He starts telling them about how when things, once this destruction comes, once all these things happen, that it's not just coming to destroy, but it's also coming to restore. And then he started giving them the good news towards the end of this entire book by letting them know that the Lord of their salvation, that the Lord that's in the midst of them is mighty, and that he will save, and that he will come and rejoice over them with joy, and that he will rejoice over them, that he will joy over them with singing. That's the part that got my attention. What does it sound like when God decides he wants to sing about you? What does it sound like when God decides he wants to sing at all? That really blew my mind. I was thinking about it for a while, trying to figure out what does it sound like when God decides that he wants to sing about me. He wants to sing over me. He wants to sing in rejoicing over something that I did or something that I accomplished, or because of his love for me. What does that sound like? And then finally, after thinking about it for some weeks, God gave me my answer in a conversation with our very own Deacon Laverne Wallace. We were sitting up talking just a couple weeks ago, and he began talking about the goodness of the Lord. It's not my testimony, so I can't tell it, but Deacon started telling me about how God blessed him throughout his life, how God always made ways out of no ways. He started telling me about his early work career, like right before he got married, how he was working in construction, and how God kept providing for him, and God kept giving him promotions that he didn't even ask for. He also told me about an important lesson that Bishop Alfred Wallace Sr. gave to him and his siblings. He told them, when you go on a man's job, to always put in a good day's work. He's paying you to do a job, just don't do it, but do it well. So Deacon Lee had taken this thought to heart. He's taken this lesson to heart, and he was just going to work each and every day, minding his business. And he said that God kept providing for him, and it kept promoting him, and it kept blessing him, and he didn't even ask for it. Now, it blessed me that God was doing things for Dick that he didn't even ask for, and it really blessed me hearing him talk about his testimony, how God had moved in his life. But at the same time, I had to disagree with Deke, because what Deke didn't realize is that asking isn't always about what you open your mouth and say. Sometimes it's not about opening your mouth and saying, God, can you give me? But it was something about the way Deke was working. It was something about the way he was dedicated to his work and doing his job, that he was asking in the way he lived his life. I believe that when you live your life in a certain way, you make God want to bless you. You make God want to do something for you. And it's because you're asking not with your mouth, but with how you're living. Deacon Lee was living his life in a way that made God want to bless him. It made God want to act on his behalf. So then while I was talking to Deke, it occurred to me that that was my answer. So when God decides he wants to sing about you, he sings your name in the ears of people that can bless you. I was so blessed by that. When God decides he wants to sing about you, he doesn't need an organ. He's not looking for a drummer or a lead guitar player. He doesn't need an alto, soprano, or a tenor, because he's going to open his mouth and he's going to start singing your name. He's going to sing your praises in the ears of people that can open doors for you that you thought were going to be closed. He's going to sing your name in the ears of people that can tear down some obstacles for you that you weren't able to get over by yourself. So today's divine download is I want to do something that's going to make God sing about me. How have we been living our lives lately? Have we been living our lives in a way that puts God in a singing mood? I want to give my life in a way that's so pleasing to God, that makes him so happy, that gives him so much joy that he decides that he wants to sing about me. How does it sound when God decides to open up his mouth and he stretches out his vocal cords and decides that he wants to sing your name? We've been singing his name for so many years, singing song after song about his healing, about his victory, about the ways that he's made, and about his goodness, and about the things that he created. But what does it sound like when God decides he's going to sing a song that got your name in it? What does it sound like when God decides to sing a song that's going to open the doors that you thought were closed? Put down in the comments down below. I just want to make God sing. Who's going to do something today? Who's going to do something in this very hour, in this very day, that's going to put God in a singing mood? My prayer for you this week, this month, this year, this decade, that you do something that's going to make God want to sing about you, that's going to make God want to rejoice and joy over you with singing. Do something that's going to make God decide he want to clear his throat and decide that he's going to take a deep breath and open up his mouth and have your name on his lips. Can you imagine what it's like, oh my God, when Jesus decides that he wants to sing your name? He wants to sing about how much you made him happy. I can't even imagine how many doors that's going to open, that's going to fly open for you, how many different blessings are going to come flooding your way. And when God opens his mouth, you know he's going to watch over his word to perform it. It cannot return unto him void. So therefore, there isn't a demon, devil, or obstacle in hell that can stop what's coming your way when God decides he's going to sing about you. So today, my brothers and my sisters, I ask you to live your life in a way much like my brother Deacon Laverne Wallace. Live your life in a way that's going to make God sing about you. God bless y'all.